I've had people on here several times to talk about, the pre-construction side, and doing a single family dwelling on 10 acres of land out in the country is vastly different than building 200 homes on 10 acres in the city. But when you go and you buy one of those planned communities, like all that's been done and calculated into the cost. And so, there's a little bit of a learning curve still for consumers when they're looking at, do we buy or we build? And, they can look at the house itself and realize like, well, we could buy an existing house always cheaper than we could build anything. We could buy new construction, or we could build our own, and there's going to be a cost gap because there's things that are happening to where you're forking the bill for 100% of the development costs on the order, versus in a neighborhood where you got these little pre-planned lot. You call them something. What are they? Something wide drive up, like the lot, like, you know what I mean? Like it's just a different.
It's a planned community, and you're exactly right. So what you miss on the build on your lot that you get in a planned community like that is economies of scale.
That's right.
So, when you got a contractor that's putting in, a mile of sewer, a mile of water, and grading, 500,000 yards worth of dirt all at one time, the cost per lot is much less.
Yes.
Than if you're doing it just on your own on 2 acres. You still got to put in the same things, if it's not sewer, it's septic, but you still got to have water. You still got to have grading done. Sometimes you have to have stormwater done depending on where you're doing it.
More and more.
Fortunately, Spartanburg's a little more friendly than others on a build on your lot scenario. Some counties are not, though. Some counties make you do the whole full, you got to do an individual lot drainage plan, and that's just what you got to do.
Yeah.
And so, but you're exactly right in that when you're going to a established neighborhood or built neighborhood to buy a home, the cost per lot is a lot less. So that's why when, we built our house on 290, 11 years ago. And, I was even surprised about how much the site work cost to build our house. And I'm in this industry, right?
Yep.
And I was like, you got to be kidding me. How can it cost this much just to punch a road in here, grade a little bit enough to put a foundation in, get my septic where it needs to be, and run a water line? It can't be that, but it is because of the economies of scale that you're dealing with. But yeah, absolutely. If you're buying from any of the national home builders, even the custom local home builders in the neighborhood, all of that stuff is already done.
Yep.
It's pre-built and built into what you're paying for the house.
Yep.
Whereas you're doing the build on your lot, it's a totally separate line item.
Well, and also the side of it is if you're buying the land yourself and coming to me with it, you got the deal on the land.
Right.
And if I'd have bought the land, now to did all that pre-work, your lot would have cost a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a hidden evil between, because people come to us and they're like, man, we've been looking for dirt for 5 years and we found the best deal on planet Earth, right? And we know barndominiums are affordable. We've seen it. We know how you price them. This is going to be great. And then we get out there and we talk about, installing their drive and doing all the things. And now there's $50,000 into it that they weren't anticipating. And then they're like, what? How is this possible? And it's just surprising. So we made a big effort to shine the light on it to help people prepare for it and understand some of the difference. The whole purpose of this show is to educate people.
Sure.
Educate them. All right. You can get on the website. You can go on the social media. You can see the products. You can see client testimonials. You can see everything there is to do about it, right? Like we talk in detail about how we build and why we built and how it's different. And, what kind of IP do we have around the system we built and all these kind of different things. But it doesn't matter who you build with.
Yep.
When it comes down to the dirt work, that is the same language across all of them.
Yep.
And I think, as a whole, builders have not done a good job educating that gap. I touched on this in another episode about, we have clients come to us that are building with big nationally recognized building a lot builders, and they're under contract, loans funded. Now granted, they're probably working through their own internal loan departments, but they show up to do work and they're like, hey, we got to do a change order. You got $70,000 worth of foundation work. Now, what are you talking about? Like, I don't have $70,000 extra, you know.
Yep.
And so then they bail out and they come to us and we're like, well, you still gonna have $70,000 worth of dirt work,
Yep.
you know. We might come in and it be 68, but you know, like it's not going to be vastly different. We don't have some kind of massive, you know, equipment that makes it cheaper.